Hello and welcome to the next video. It's about VAT invoice. What is an invoice? Invoice is a document that shows sales or purchases and taking place and the quantity, the money, VAT percentage, any trade discount or cash discount offer, then terms of the credit terms, how many days credit, all been written onto the invoice. Invoice can be a paper or electronic. Invoice is an important document. Why? Because from that invoice we can reclaim the VAT if we are purchasing, or if we're issuing, we're selling VAT and we're issuing the we are selling goods and we're issuing the invoice. The customer needs the VAT invoice so that they can reclaim the VAT. If the customer is not VAT registered, then the VAT invoice is not mandatory because they don't need it, doesn't it? Unless they request to do so. If they specifically request us, oh, please give us the VAT request, we will do so. Otherwise, not. The invoice needs to be sent within 30 days of the goods being supplied. If we forget to send any invoice, that means we have failed to keep a proper record. And that's going to hamper the filing of the VAT, the payment of the VAT. This will be incorrect and it can raise a potential penalty. A taxable person can only reclaim input VAT if they have a valid invoice for the purchases. That's why invoice is an important part. An example of invoice is shown here. Let me make it a little bigger and a little more. Now check it out here. Little up. That is our invoice. This is the name and address of the supplier, seller. Name and address given, telephone number, VAT registration number as well, given. This is a must. All of it is a must. Purchaser name and addresses would be given here. Another must document information on a VAT invoice. Invoice number should be given, date and tax point. We're going to talk about the tax point later at this chapter. Then the pro forma of invoice could be different based on the needs of the business, quantity, description, the code number, price of each unit, total price. This should be written. Look at this. Charge before any VAT added. That is before any VAT added. So maybe more would be here, more would be here, added up together, you get the total value excluding VAT. Each item is what? Excluding VAT, doesn't it? Then you do 20% VAT standard VAT rate and add it up together, you get the total price. Well, people, the VAT invoice must show all the information marked above. This information is a must. Show information on a VAT information. This list included in the AAT reference material provided to you in the assessment, making it a little smaller. One more, reference material, whereabout it is given. That is our reference material, VAT invoices. We will check it out in a few minutes. To 158. Let me go over here, and that is our VAT invoice. All the information, and you need to master yourself all this information. Inform the material from the textbook. At the end of the textbook, your BPP book, this material is available. Well, let's do the activity number 1. Valid VAT invoice using your AAT reference material. See, now BPP is telling you to go back to the AAT reference material and find out which 3 of the following items must be included on a valid VAT invoice. Let's check it out. Now remember, this is the reference material. I'm going back to the question yet again. 3 following items must be included on the valid invoice. Now, customer VAT registration number is not the concern, not at all. Who issues the invoice? The seller. So seller is issuing, so we need the supplier, the seller's registration number. The VAT exclusive amount for each type with items sold. Look at this, each type, there is 1 category sold, then I said number 2 category, 3 category, for all of it are VAT exclusive, and that is true. It should be. And total amount charged to the VAT, that should be definitely, let me show you, this is the total of the VAT, 20%. Yeah. And last one, the VAT inclusive amount, inclusive, they're saying, for each type. No, that is not. We didn't see VAT inclusive amount each type into the above picture, but for further peace of mind and confirmation, we need to check this out. And these will be available on your exam day. What a VAT invoice must show. All of it. Yeah, master yourself, please. And all of it. Okay. So nobody can fail you in this exam. It's an open book exam unless you want to fail yourself. Okay, that's that. What did they say here? Processing a VAT invoice will have an effect on the VAT control account and therefore will impact on the amount of VAT payable and reclaimable by the business. Obviously, the invoice decides like how much VAT you can reclaim, how much VAT, if it's a sales invoice, how much is output VAT, isn't it? Purchase invoices and purchase return will affect input VAT. Yeah, purchase return and purchase will definitely affect input VAT. It makes it up and down. Sales invoices and return will affect output VAT. Yeah, thanks for the recap. We already know it, doesn't it? Activity number 2, effect on VAT. A purchase invoice for taxable supply has just been processed. It's a purchase invoice. So purchase is an input, doesn't it? What will be the effect on the VAT? Input tax will increase. Yeah, that's true. That should be my answer. It will not decrease. No, output related is nothing. So yes, first one is the answer. Input VAT, we can reclaim it back. Well, now this paragraph is about simplified invoice. Let's go to the reference material. We do have quite a bit information regarding the simplified invoice. Let me take you over here. These are all about a valid invoice is needed to reclaim. The 25,250 is all about simplified invoice. It will be given on the exam day, and more about simplified means less detailed invoice can be issued. Yep. So what is a simplified invoice? The supplies invoice is less than £250, including what? Including VAT. It comes in the exam. They ask you including or excluding. So students struggle. They keep looking on the reference material. But if you know in advance, his life would be easy. Yeah, you can save a lot of time. 250. Any invoice less than 250 or 250, including VAT, then we can issue a simplified invoice. And what do you mean by simplified invoice? It means you don't need to put all the information like a normal invoice, and suppliers do not need to keep copies of this simplified invoice. Yeah, suppliers, they don't need to keep it, but customers, they need to keep it, yeah, to reclaim the VAT. If the expenditure is total 25 or less including VAT, then no invoice is required. If it is very minimum amount 25 or less, you don't need any invoice even to reclaim the VAT. For the telephone calls or car park fees, for example, yeah, purchase made through a coin-operated machines, you don't need any VAT invoices. You straight can reclaim the VAT on this simplified invoices. Even this less than 25, you don't need invoice. Yeah. So two things: simplified 250 or less than 250 is the invoice. We record less information over here, and no invoice required to reclaim a VAT which is less than 25 or just 25. Last topic here in this particular video is about pro forma invoice. Pro forma invoice is not actually an invoice, it's an offer. It's an offer of goods or services to a potential customer. And now we send the goods. Let's assume we send the goods from A to B. A is the seller, supplier, and B is the customer. So B receives the goods. Let's assume these are the goods. Okay. Now it's just a pro forma invoice when we send the goods, not an actual invoice, because we have given an offer to B. B can either keep the goods or can return the goods to A. Now, if they keep the goods, then we need to send an actual invoice. Yeah. Otherwise, we assume they can return it. If it is returned within 30 days time, then it's fine. But after 30 days, we assume it's a sales. That's your pro forma invoice. Yeah. Let's see what they said. Businesses are not allowed to use this to reclaim. Yeah, pro forma invoice, we can't use it to reclaim the VAT because this is not a VAT invoice. If the customer does decide to buy the goods, sends the payment, then a proper VAT invoice should be sent within 30 days. Yeah, or if even earlier. The activity 3, reclaiming the input VAT. Decide whether the following statements are true or false. A simplified invoice can be used to reclaim the VAT. Yeah, it can be 250, even 25. The very simplified. Even we don't need invoice. Simplified invoice can be used to reclaim the VAT. True. Pro forma invoice can be used to reclaim the VAT. No, it isn't. No. Well, that's all from this particular video. Check out the next one for VAT and discounts. Till then, stay blessed.